What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBet Solutions. So just another recap on today's trading. Overall, a successful day when it came to the breakdown on how today played out. I did make another mistake that I do want to talk about just so you guys can avoid it yourself. So again, this is a recap through TechBet Solutions. TechBet Solutions is a group that I started on teaching, educating, new members on the basics and fundamentals on trading penny stocks. So if it's a group that you think that you'd like to be a part of, we sit about 1,380 members worldwide. So if you'd like to be a part of it, it's a free group you can join. The link is provided for you down below. So this is the Facebook platform, and then if you'd like to be part of the alert or the chat room platform, feel free to email me. That email is also provided for you down below. It's techbuds@mail.com, which is where you can reach out to me, ask for the welcome document, which will provide you with all the links and accounts that we have provided for the group altogether to help us stay connected. So if you'd like to be, connected with like-minded individuals and surround yourself with, more potential, then I definitely, recommend you to send me that email, and then we'll go ahead and get you started. So going right into it, right away, the morning started off on a good note. I ended up not being able to lock in my profits on RGSE. RGSE, I was up instantly. Didn't lock in my profits. So when it comes to the breakdown of RGSE today, I do want to say yesterday this is one that I ended up trading, and the reason I saw so much potential is because we were actually waiting for the bounce right above the 290 area all the way up to the 310. We're hoping to break 310 today. It actually went, the opposite way. That's why we're waiting for the bounce. Ended up not hitting that 310 resistance. It actually went, the opposite way. I got my alert as soon as it went below 290, and when it went below 290, it actually hit lows of 267. That is actually where I initially, caught the bounce. So I caught the bounce at 270. Once it broke above 270, I was able to ride it, and it hit highs of 284. I was up $144 already, and instead of locking the profits, I was getting greedy. I was thinking that it was going to touch back at 290. I wasn't following with a stop loss, which I should have. And what that means is, had a stop loss set at 269, what I should have done is remove that stop loss, and it's called a trailing stop loss. So what that means is, as the stock continues to rise, so does my stop loss. In effort to, if there's a sudden change in just the volume and the stock decides to, dip down, I'll at least lock in the profits within a certain area. So let's say, the price was it hit highs of almost 285. I could have set a stop loss at 280 to ensure that I lock in my profit from 270 to 280, at least that 10-cent, profit that I've already made. But instead of that, my stop loss was all the way down here. It, hit highs of 284, and then it came back bleeding down all the way down to 256 initially. Bounced back up, came back down, and then broke that, and pretty much set its safety at that low point, I believe, of 243 overall, then set its new resistance area right around this 275 as it couldn't break it throughout the entire day. It now sets its new safety that it tends to bounce at quite often around the 260 area, and that was easily determined just because it bounced pretty nicely, did break below it, but then held above it throughout the whole day. So for RGSE, the next days to come, just understand these safety nets and resistance levels and then trade according. Don't be afraid to lock in your profit even if you're not at that 10% already. It's better to lock in the profits and stay in the green rather than, have all that profit pretty much, set and then be in the red. So I ended up losing about $11 once I stop loss, and I only lost 1 cent. But again, it was just very upsetting that I wasn't able to lock in, the $144 profit that I already had set up. Once it came down, I talked about, losing what I did. I was really upset on, just a simple mistake that I did. So I jumped into GoPro. GoPro, I did see that there was a safety, and the reason I saw there was a safety around 1060 was on this first bounce, it hit 1060, came back up, and then came back down. I got filled at 1059. I actually put my limit order at 1060. But at the time that I put in my limit order through Robinhood, the price was already down to 1059, and I think it hit lows of 1058. So I got filled at 1059, and then it picked right up. I studied stop loss, and then with this, I was following with a trailing stop loss. First, I put one at 1065, and it never went below that. It continued to rise, and then I put one at 1079, and it never went below that. And then it broke, and I was letting the group know as it was breaking these resistance levels of 1060, 1070, 1080, 1090. I was letting the team know. I knew there was a really strong resistance right here based on this candlestick right here around the the $10.94, and that's initially why I sold. So I sold initially on this drop or on this spike at $10.94. I was able to lock in $212 worth of profit at my sell at $10.94. It ended up hitting highs of, I believe, $11.08. But realistically, I locked in my profits, didn't want to take that risk, and after hours, GoPro actually took a really bad dip. So once you show the extended hours, it actually hit lows, I believe, of 943, as you guys can see here. So what that means is it actually caught pretty well, and it caught right according to, this old resistance level becomes a new safety, and it hit highs of almost, 970. So with that being said, this, following day, as long as everything plays out based on some news that I did read about GoPro, they're trying to look at a merger with Apple. That could be some good news and can lead to a little spike. So if it breaks, above the 970 to 980 mark, you could see a little rise just like you did here from around, the $10 to $11 mark. Now, when it came to my trade with SCYX, that was later throughout the day, and it was actually because of different members within the group that were shouting this stuff out. I did have my alerts set already, and it's when it went below 290. Once it went below 290, this is when I sent out this alert, hit lows of, the 280 mark, and I jumped in at 282 and was able to sell at 293. A lot of traders were able to jump in, and then they were starting to lock in their profits. Some were freaking out because they weren't able to lock it, but I do want to give a good shout out to Blake Allen, who played a good role in helping out one of our other members and telling him why he was receiving this error message. And that's why this group is so helpful, because not only can I help you out, but you have hundreds if not thousands of other traders that are experienced in different problems that you probably are not. And with that, we can continue to share best practices in an effort to, create an overall just better platform to promote growth. So overall, everyone ended up locking in the profits. I kind of shutted out my trade from 282 to 293, and then I made exactly $100. It was actually, I did go a little low. I usually risk $3,000 per trade, but just because of my bad trade with RGSE, I didn't want to risk too much, so I went in with 2,500. Was able to bring in $302 worth of profit today with my fail on RGSE. I do want to give a shout out to those members that were able to jump in on GoPro with me, and then to one of my buddies that actually did one of his first trades today. His name is Barry Henderson. He was able to lock in his trade from about $10.74 to around $11, and then I think he wanted to try it after hours since he was doing simulation trading, and then saw that that wasn't such a good idea. And again, simulation trading is where you guys should be trying all the different possibilities on trying to discover yourself as a trader, since it's not real money. So it's in the sense paper stocks. And then with that, you could actually use the TD Ameritrade platform that allows you to paper trade. So hopefully you guys found this video somewhat helpful. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my email is going to be provided for you down below. I did create a new video on 3 simple steps on how to build your own penny stock watch list. So feel free to click on that video if you haven't done so already. And if you guys want to subscribe, we do upload daily recap videos to help traders understand, the basics and fundamentals of trading penny stocks a little bit better. And then we also do upload, car videos, as we really enjoy, driving the different supercars that we own. So hopefully you guys would like to be a part of, this team, and hopefully I can be a part of your success. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and let's make sure that we end the week on a green note. Take care, guys.